Hi, this is Topher with Winning WP. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Contact Form 7 to make a contact form for WordPress. We're looking here at the WordPress.org page for Contact Form 7. And there's a number here that's very important that I want to show you. Active installations are more than 5 million. Not only does that make this the most popular contact form plugin, it makes it the most popular plugin for WordPress of any type. So let's dive in and I'll show you how to make a form. I have a fairly vanilla WordPress install here. No plugins, nothing special about it. I'm going to go to Plugins, Add New, and we'll search for Contact Form 7. We'll click Install Now. And then we'll click Activate. And now we have it installed. And now there is a new menu item called Contact. Let's click Contact Forms. There's some marketing information here at the top, which we will dismiss. And you'll see that it comes with one form built in. Let's edit this form. Each form comes with a title. And then there's a section here for configuring how your form looks. Contact Form 7 uses shortcodes. So this box right here contains a mix of plain HTML, like the label tag and your name, with a shortcode. This shortcode renders a text field named your name, and the asterisk means that it is required. So this form has a field for your name, your email, your subject, which is not required, and your message, which again is not required. Let's add one more field for phone number. Now right here are some buttons to help you make new fields. I'm going to click Tell for telephone. I'll make it required. I'll leave the default name. I'm not going to put in a default value, but if I wanted, I could put in an ID attribute and a class attribute. But I'll just insert tag. Now right now, it would just be a plain old field. We want to add in the label. And there we are. Now you'll note that mine is not indented like the others. But that doesn't matter. At the bottom, we have a submit button. Now let's take a look at some of the other options here. There's email, URL, a number, a date, text area, a drop-down menu, checkboxes, radio buttons, acceptance, which makes a single checkbox and requires you to say, I agree, or something like that. You can make a quiz. You can allow the end user to upload a file. And then there's the submit button. Now I've made some changes here, so I'm going to click Save. But now we need to decide what happens when someone clicks Submit on this form. By default, it sends an email. And you can use some of those very same shortcodes in here that you did on the front end. So here you can decide who the email goes to, who it's from, and I'm going to change this to be your name and your email. So now it will appear to be from the person who actually filled out the form. And rather than have all of this extra, I'm going to just do subject. Now you'll note that it has some excellent error checking. There is a possible empty field. You may recall that subject was not required. And so if they don't put one in, then this is going to be left empty. I'm okay with that. Here it says sender email address does not belong to the site domain. I'm okay with that as well. There's additional headers, which make the reply to. And here's the message body. Now these are typically mail headers, but they're in the body right now. You can choose to leave them or remove them. Right here is the key that has the message body. And then it puts in a footer, which you can remove or leave. You can choose to exclude lines with blank mail tags from the output, and you can optionally use the HTML content type. You can also arbitrarily include file attachments. Then if you want this to email to a second person, you can do the whole thing again. But I'm going to leave this just the way it is and click Save. And then we should look at messages. Now, these are the various messages that will be presented to the person filling out the form. If it works, they get this thank you message. If it doesn't, they get this error, and so on. These are all the various error messages that they might get. And then there are additional settings. We won't go over all of them. You can say that the form may only be filled out if someone is a site subscriber. You may be only in demo mode. You can not send emails, and a variety of other things. You would just copy and paste those items into this box. So now we have a form. Contact Form 7 uses shortcodes to render the form, and this is the shortcode for this form. So I'm going to copy that. You could also get it from this page. Now, I've already created a contact page. It's empty at this point. So I will edit. And we're using Gutenberg here as our editor. And if you paste a shortcode in, it magically figures out that it's a shortcode and uses the shortcode block type. So now I'll hit Update. And then we'll look at our page. And here's our form. Remember when I made a label for the telephone? I just copied and pasted your email, and it should have been phone. So let's go back and edit that. And there we are. Now I'm going to submit this empty, and you'll see one of the messages that we looked at in the messages area. Not only that, it says these are required. And if you put something in the phone number that is not a phone number, it will say the telephone number is invalid. And now we have a contact form with Contact Form 7. But there's something more that we can do, something that makes it a lot cooler. The Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg block set includes a Contact Form 7 styler. Let's take a look. We go to Plugins, Add New, and there it is, the Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg. I'll install now. Now this comes with many more blocks than just the one we're looking for. But the one we're looking for is really slick. Then we'll click Activate. Now let's go back to our Pages area. Edit the contact page. Now let's remove the shortcode block that we have here. And I'm going to click this plus. And at the bottom is the Ultimate Add-ons blocks. And here's the Contact Form 7 styler. So now we choose a form. And it renders it beautifully right in line. And not only that, then over here we have all of these buttons that we can use to style it. We can change our content colors and fonts. We can change the styles of radio buttons and checkboxes. We can make our submit button look different. We can choose aligned left, right, justified, centered, can change its border, its color, all of that. We can even manipulate what success and error messages look like. We can manage spacing, so we can put more space between the labels and the boxes. And we can put in CSS classes on each piece. So now we'll click Update, and we'll reload this page. And you can see that our styles have taken effect. So all in all, it makes a much more pleasant experience of loading your contact form into your page. It gives you a great deal of flexibility and makes it so that you can make the form look like the rest of your site with a nice mouse-driven interface. So to review the plugins we installed, our Contact Form 7, and then the Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg. And the Ultimate Add-ons for Gutenberg is mostly about styling the form and making it look great, but it also adds a really nice way to choose your form within Gutenberg. One last thing I want to show you. Contact Form 7 is very simple, which is either a great thing or a terrible thing, depending on what you want. If you want simple, it's wonderful. If you're looking for a lot of features, it can be lacking. However, because it is so popular, there are thousands of add-on plugins. 1,419 returned by this search. You can make multi-step forms, smart grids, honeypots. You can store your submissions in the database. The add-ons just go on and on and on. So don't be afraid to consider Contact Form 7, even if you need something complicated, because there's probably an add-on that can do anything you need. So go forth and build yourself a contact form. If you'd like even more great content, check out winningwp.com and also subscribe to this YouTube channel